Alright, so hello everyone. Welcome to my Blender render tutorial series for the YAKUZA series. It's so basically what this series will cover is the basics of how to, use stuff like programs and stuff, and like how to rip this, how to get the add-on, how to basically like pose the model, use lighting, and etc. And finally, I'll probably add some extra DLCs, like some extra content, like maybe I'll talk about Kurohyou models or the PS2 game models. It's really up to what's gonna happen. But for starters, I'm gonna assume you own Blender, or at least have Blender. This is the most important tool you will ever have in this entire tutorial. So, yeah. For starters, I'll just talk about what you will need to follow along with this tutorial. Now, the most important thing you will need is the YAKUZA GMD importer and exporter. You will need this add-on for Blender. How to download it? You want to go to this releases tab out here, version 0.50. You want to click here. You want to scroll all the way down. You can read all that if you want. I'll put the links in the description. And you want to go to YK_JMD_blender.zip. And you want to click this. You want to download that. Now for the next thing you will need is the par manager. This is how you get your models, and I'll show you just how to use these in a second. Once again, you'll need releases. You go to 1.34. If you can't really do that, I mean you could, but there's no reason for it. So you go here and you get the version you want. I'm gonna assume most of you are using Windows, so yeah, download the Windows version if you have Windows, of course. And then lastly, what you will need is this Noesis. So you want to go to richwhitehouse.com to get this. You're gonna have to scroll past the BPEMU. This is an Atari Jaguar emulator, but that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. You want to scroll down just one more, and you'll find this. You'll see how to use this in just a bit. But this is a model exporting and a texture converting file manager. The rest of this is nothing you really need to care about. But yeah, let's start with importing the Blender plugin. So for starters, you have to have Blender open, for one. So now that you have Blender open, you want to go to this edit mode. You want to go here where it says edit. Sorry if I sounded nasally. It's because I have a cold. You want to go to edit, and then preferences out here, or you could press Control comma. I didn't even know that until this. Anyways, you should be default in this add-ons tab, but if you're anywhere else, just remember to click here. So you might be wondering, what is any of this? Leave it all alone. What you will need to do is you want to go here to install, and you want to find your YAKUZA GMD Blender zip file. So I put mine in the documents folder. We're gonna click it, and when you import it, it will automatically search for it in the search bar, and you can import it and export it. I already have it imported, so all you have to do is just click the checkbox, and then you restart Blender, which I don't feel like doing. Now that you have the GMD model import, you can now import models, but you don't have any models. So there's multiple ways to get models. For one, there is getting them from the game. So in the data folder of most of the Yakuza games, I think it's the Media and the Dragon Engine titles. I'm not sure, I don't have any of them. You want to go and look for either a Chara folder, or you want to look for a Chara.par file. Both of those files contain models. So, as an example, I will use Yakuza 0. But the thing is, there is par files that you will need to use and open and stuff. So, for example, let me open up my pars. So this is my Yakuza 0 Chara. There. So you wanna extract your partool exe, not your exe, your zip file. Version 1.3.4 Windows x64 is the version I have because I have Windows. You wanna export. You wanna basically you wanna open where this partool is. Don't open this exe. Actually, there are let's hear in the Yakuza 0's chart.par. You want to go into this W64 folder, and then here's everything you'll need. You most likely want to do characters from sub-stories and the main story. So for the main story, you want to most likely go here, auth, but for sub-story characters, you want to go to ADV most likely. Let's get a main story character. So I recorded this already, but it fucked up. I turned off my mic, and I didn't realize it because I did it yesterday. So we're not doing Nishiki. So instead of Nishiki, I will try. How about instead of that, I'll just do Kuze, because I don't feel like scrolling down. So there are two ways to unpack par files. So one way is to copy the par file and paste it into the partool directory. And then you can click on it and it should export. Okay, that doesn't work, so there's only one way. I mean, there is another way, going into the command prompts and doing it that way, but that way is kind of lame. So you want to open this with parts, so you want to drag and drop it onto the exe, and then just let the magic happen. There. Now that you have now you have the model. See all this? Now let's import it in Blender. So you have the file. So you want to go to File, then you want to go to Import. Shit. Once again, File, then Import. Then you want to go down here where it says Yakuza skinned GMD for modeling or characters. Don't go for the unskinned, because that's for stage models or weapons and stuff like that. We're going to go to characters, and the animation, I'll talk about that later. So I need to find my Yakuza Chara in the Blender database, or whatever the fuck, file view. Okay, so you want to go to W64. Okay, I'll just find the model. Actually, I want to use Nishiki, so I already had him done before I recorded this. So I'll import Nishiki. Give it a second to load. And there, we have Akira Nishikiyama. There we go. Now, this is all you'll see at the first. You won't see anything major. You won't see anything you won't see anything crazy here. Alright? There's more to this. For starters, let's load his model into viewport shading. Now just wait for it to compile shaders. My computer's slow, so it's going to take a while. Apologize for the wait. Actually, I don't apologize, because I'm going to speed this up in post-editing. Hopefully, if I don't get lazy. So, yeah. Alright, now the model is imported. But his eyes are fucked up. How do I fix that, Z64? Okay. That's because the reason why they are pink is because my boy Nishiki over here is missing textures. So, yeah, these are in a file called common.par. So common.par, it's in the ADV folder. So let me briefly touch upon what ADV and auth means. So ADV is the adventure stages. This is where this is the model you'll see while you're running around Kamurocho or fighting goons and stuff. This is the model you'll see during substories. The auth model is the model you'll see during cutscenes. It's higher detailed, has more bones, and is better suited for posing than the auth models, than the ADV models. But ADV models in Yakuza 0 are a lot better than the ones in 5 and earlier. So let me put this on auth. Okay, we're not trying to go to auth, actually. You want to go to ADV, and you want to scroll all the way down. Oh, wait. That's weird. Okay. Turns out I had made a mistake. In Yakuza 3, 4, and 5, there is a text common.par at the very end. Zero and Kiwami are not like that. So I made a very grave mistake. I will get the chart up. I will get the text common really quickly. Minus from Kiwami. Give me a second to find it. Alright. Now that I have it, I'm going to go inside, and you'll see all these textures. You might be wondering, what do I do with Noesis? I'll get to that. Alright, now you want to go to File. You want to go to External Data. You can leave all of these alone. You can maybe turn this on if you care about sending this to other people. What you want to do here is you want to relink import to Yakuza images. And then you want to find your text common.par. You want to find your common texture file. Where the hell is mine? It should be at the top of this. There it is. There we go. Unpack. And what you want to do is you just want to press relink images. And then, bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Nishiki looks normal. Except for his eyes. Now, the reason why his eyes look like this is pretty easy to explain. Now, in Yakuza 0 and every old engine game before it, so Ishin to Kenzan from my newest to oldest before 0, and of course Kiwami as well. These games have cube maps for the eyes, and that's basically how eyes are rendered in the old engine. And the old engine is the games that were released from 5 up until Kiwami 1, including Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. And the old engine games are the games that released since Kenzan and were stopped being made either with Binary Domain or Yakuza 5. One of those games was the game. One of those games was the very first old engine game. I'm not sure which one it is, but I just know one of them is. Anyways, back to the eyes. This is a pretty easy fix. So what you want to do is you want to go down here. You want to go to this red circle with the highs. Now there are two things you could do here. You can either go straight up delete the material, which I'm not gonna do. Then you'll be able to see the eyes. Hold on. Hopefully my undo works. It does not fucking work. So I'm not gonna delete them. Or you see this opacity slider? You could slide that to maybe, look, this is what it should, this is what your eyes will look like after you delete that. So I'm going to change this to 0.3. Now I will then, after that, I will then turn on alpha blend for the material so that the transparency works. Give it a little time to rest, breathe. Now, once again, his eyes still look weird. We can fix that. So you want to go to the shading tab here, or you can also change this. You can also do this, which is what I do. It's faster in my opinion. Even though it's not faster, or you can do this. You can go to the shader editor. But we'll do it in the shading tab for simplicity. So everybody's on the same page. There, shading tab. Get closer. Let's make sure we can see Nishiki's face. Or Nishiki's eyes, more specifically. And then you want to go here. You want to scroll down to where it's plugged into reflection. You want to plug that into the texture diffuse. And you just want to plug the diffuse alpha to here. If you want to see what the cube map looks like, you can just press this. And this is where UV editing comes in, even though you probably won't need it. You can leave this alone. You don't have to really do the UVs. Since there isn't really much of a, difference, I'm just going to erase it. Well, if I wanted the cube maps to be there and visible, I just put this to 1. But I can barely see them, so I'll just turn them off. Sorry for any cube map fans that were there. Boom. Done. So there. Now you have his eyes. Now, while we have his eyes fixed, there's 2 other behemoths. One, his hair. This is an easy fix. You go here. So the reason why the hair is like this is because in the old engine, hair is rendered differently to how it is rendered in the Dragon engine. It's much more primitive, and yeah. The blend mode they use in the Blender plugin is alpha blend because, that's the most accurate. You want to change that to alpha hashed. Don't use opaque because the transparency will be fucked up, as we've shown with the cube map. And don't use alpha clip because it'll look like a fucking PS2 game. Anyways, look, now our hair looks slightly better, and it doesn't look like it's clipping through the bottom. Anyways, you might also notice that the eyes kind of look weird. It's nothing like awful, but it doesn't look the best it can look. Now, this is where this comes in. The sampling, right here, you can leave this here. This is all render settings. Turn on ambient occlusion and screen space reflections all the time. Every time you make a render, it has to be on. You can leave this off if you care, but I'd highly recommend turning on bloom, because I do it all the time. And now, boom, we got Nishiki. But what if you wanted to model a Dragon Engine character? Like, let's say, for example, let me get a character from Judgment. And also, you'll probably notice, outside of Yakuza 6, none of the Dragon Engine games have the ADB North folder, because there's no need for them, even in Yakuza 6. Let's use a Genda. So, let's wait for this to load. Let's wait for Genda to load. Give it some time. It'll be there. And now we wait for the model to load up. The textures. Alright, you may notice, just like Nishiki's eyes, Genda out here is all pink. Even down to the very little details. Now, hold on, let me delete Nishiki, because we don't need him anymore. I just need to show you how pars were like. Show the Yakuza 0. There. Now, you might be wondering, okay, you just relink, right? Yeah. So, yeah, you want to go to the DDS folder of every Dragon Ninja game. Let's go to Judgments, because we're in Judgment. The DDS folder, and in Gaiden, Lost Judgment, and Infinite Wealth, it's high-res DDS. So, then you want to relink the images. No. This is not how it will look normally. So let's say you wanted to import the DDS files. Bring the desired results. Yes. You might notice he's still pink, only he looks weirder. There's an easy fix. And this is where Noesis finally comes into the picture. Now that we're in Noesis, if you haven't opened it, just go into the search bar, Noesis, and then find the exe, or maybe find it in your files. So, if you're in Noesis, what you want to do is you want to go to Tools, and you want to click Batch Process. You want to change this input extension to DDS, and this output extension to PNG. Now, you can batch, right? That's what you would think. But, this is how the name is supposed to be, but with DDS. Now, this is how the name is with PNG. Safe to say, it is not supposed to have an out at the end. So, there's a way to fix this. For starters, get rid of this in-name files part. You don't need this for anything. So now it's just in-path in-named out text. You don't need this first out. Get rid of this, but not the outs. The other outs only make sure it says empath / this yen symbol. I don't know why it's a yen symbol for me. For some fucking weird reason. I think it's because I'm in Japanese. Yeah. So empath, change that. I got the / and then in names .out text. Now you can folder batch. Then you see the DDS name, and then you can look at the normal look at the PNG name. Now we can export. I'm not going to do that because I already have done it. So, yeah. Now we're going to import the PNG files that we exported. So we're going to change this from texture format from DDS to PNG. And by the way, you can also change it from DDS to you can also export as TGA. Blender supports Targa image files, but be warned, it will do more damage to your storage. It is very big. Targa files are very large, so it's much more storage efficient to use PNG, but just don't use JPEG. Use either PNG or Targa. So now we are going to relink these PNG images. And there we go, Genda. But you may notice something else. His face looks a little bit odd. Now, there are 2 ways to fix this. For starters, we can go here. We can go into the material properties. Scroll all the way down to where it says engine. And you want to put that slider down all the way to 0.1 or 0.15. I'll keep it at 0.15 for now. And do that for all the skin, because all the skin is like this. You also might notice another thing. Genda has 2 outfits for some reason. There is no explanation I can give other than there is literally 2 models there. This is a very easy pick. Ren's pants. You can take these off so easily. You just need to find the models, and you will literally be good. Look at that. We have Genda, how it should look like. Now do that with the rest of the skin, what I just did. And I also forgot to mention the other method. I'm sorry, we're going to take this back to 1. This corresponds to the armature. So we're going to scale that by 10 or by 5. I'm going to do it by 10 because that's how I've always done it. You can also scale it by 5. And, yeah, delete the socks mesh or the shoe mesh, depending on your situation. Pretty basic stuff. Now, there we go. There's a mesh inside here, and I'm not going to fix it. And would you look at that? Genda Sensei's looking nice, just like he does in game. Just for frame rate reasons, I'll switch back to this. Put his model back to 0.1. Put his model to 1 again. Now we don't need Genda anymore, because let me explain to you one more topic before I end this video. There is two types of Blender models. There's two types of YAKUZA models, I mean. When it comes to characters, there are two types of YAKUZA models. There is a single parter like Genda right here, and Nishiki was before. Let's get rid of Genda. And then there's a multi-parter. Oh boy, there's... Okay, always remember to have everything showing when you want to delete a model. Everything you want deleted showing. Because it might end up in your render, and that's not something you want. Let me show a multi-parter, this time not from YAKUZA. We're instead going to get my goat. There we go. Let's import the number 1. Now we'll import Ichiban. Now Ichiban and every other protagonist, every other playable character, and a few other characters, if you import their model from the tops folder, you will only get their clothes and their hands and their everything. Now this is because they're a multiparter. Now multiparter is a model with 2 or 3 meshes. Like for example, Majima is a model with 2 meshes, one for his head, one for his I think one for his clothes and hair, and one for his head. Or I think it's one for his hair, and one for his clothes, and one for his hair and head. Or like Ichiban here, with 3 models. One for his hair, which can be changed at any point. One with his... And one with his, one with his face, obviously, and one with his clothes. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Again. Now finally, let's import the face. Oh shit, it's a face. Second. Alright. Now let's hide these armatures. Now let's use this one. Let's say you want to move him now. Object mode. Where it says object mode, you want to click here. Select the armature before you do that, but you want to click to pose mode. Let's move his neck. So his neck is over here. It's called kubi. That means neck in Japanese. So, what if I want to move him, make him look up? Okay, what the hell? Okay, that's the body. Okay, I'm having troubles. Make him look up. His head isn't moving. So there's a very quick fix, and it's very simple. So the reason why his head isn't moving is because it's not parented to this mesh. So what you want to do is you want to hide the X Ichiban, or hide any other of the armatures that you want to parent to. You want to press A, or if you don't want to press a button, you can just box select everything. And then you re-hide, you re-show this, and then you, while holding control, make sure you hold control while you do this. You click the armature. Now once you're done clicking the armature, while still holding control, press P. Now you want to set the parent to armature to form. Don't click the other ones with empty group level. Don't click these, click armature to form right here. And then, boom, it's parented. You can put these in the collection and then delete these because there's no models attached to them. Now, if we go back to pose mode and try to move the head, boom. There we go. Now Ichiban's moving just as he should. Now that is it for now. In the next tutorial, I will be showing how to move the rest of the body. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time, and bye.